In our previous podcast, we set up this Illustrator document with guides and a grid on the page. Now, this is only the start of the setup of your document. If ever we wanted to place text on this page, we want to have a text frame that has 3 columns in it. So to do that in Illustrator, you have to deal with area type options. So it's called that because it's going to be area type. So the difference between area type and point type, the 2 kinds of type in Illustrator, is that with point type, you take your type tool and you simply click and start typing. And what it does is it simply puts the type on a path like this, basically. Type on one anchor point. So despite the fact that it looks like there's a bounding box here, this wasn't created in a box. Area type, you take your type tool and you drag it, and then you can type a paragraph in here, basically. So the rule is to use point type when you simply want to do a title or maybe one sentence or something really short, 1 word, whatever. And then you use area type when you want to set paragraphs of text. Okay, so this is the case. We're going to set paragraphs of text on this page to fill the whole page, which we wouldn't usually do, but here we go. So I'm going to take my type tool, and I have smart guides on. It's Command U to turn on smart guides. So I can see when I hover over the guide, it tells me that I'm on it, and it's going to snap to the guide. So I'm going to go ahead and drag right across to the bottom corner. And again, smart guides help me snap that into position. And I'll show you that right now, if I paste text, it's the whole page wide rather than being in 3 columns. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. And what we're going to do is just select our text frame with our black arrow, go to the type menu and choose area type options. Okay, so once we have that, we have our dialog here. I'm going to turn on preview and change the number of columns. So see, here's 2 columns, and then I'm going to go to 3, and you can see that our gutters don't match. The gutters are the spaces between the columns. So here, if I remember properly, in the last podcast, we set these to 9 points. So I'm going to click the gutter down to 9 points. I could put in rows. This is way less useful. The column settings are what we want here. And I could offset the text, create the inset spacing if I wanted to in this box. But in this case, I don't want to. So that's pretty much it. So if I say OK, it's really hard to see that my text frame is like that. So I'm going to hide my guides by typing command and semicolon. And see, there's my text frame with guides and without guides. And you see that it matches up perfectly. So if we put our cursor back in the frame and paste text now, we see that it's set in columns like this. Okay, so this is the proper way of setting text in columns rather than creating 3 separate text frames in each column, which is really hard to manage and move around. So I hope this helps you set type in columns more easily in Adobe Illustrator.